Hello and welcome to the Slip Sis YouTube channel. I'm Jay.
I'm Gabs.
And today is podcast day. Well, it's a surprise podcast day. It is episode 39. We're coming to you earlier this time because next week I'm actually going to be in the Bay Area with Gabs, but it's bananas. We will not have time for podcasting. So today is Sunday, April 28th. We just talked about it being 8:28. I'm still in Southern California. Gabs is in Northern California. All of our details and info is down below. Gabs was earlier or ahead of schedule this morning, so I am still eating my breakfast and will be doing so while she chats. Did I miss anything?
Our info's down below.
I actually said that one this time.
I was zoned out.
Oh, 30 seconds in and she's already not listening to me. So we're starting off super good. Did you want to talk about your design one more time though?
Yes, the Coasting Along Mystery Knit-Along starts June 2nd, so there's still plenty of time for you to purchase the pattern and pick up some yarn for it. It is a collaboration with Gary Knits, Gary Rides, and it's um a mystery, but all the net proceeds of the pattern will be donated to the San Francisco AIDS Foundation and Life Cycle, which is very exciting. I think we're over $100 to donate already. I'm sitting on it so that it's like a larger, like it's one donation. So that should be super fun. Um, the pattern link will be down below. There's video tutorials. Oh, and my local yarn store, A Pop of Color, is hosting a cast-on party. So if you're local to the Bay Area, in Morgan Hill, there is going to be a cast-on party on Sunday, June 2nd, and they've invited me to attend. And I think it'll be a nominal fee to attend, and then all the proceeds of that will be going to the AIDS Foundation as well, which is super cool. I felt so fancy. I was like,
Celebrity sighting, my
yeah.
sister.
I was like, this is awesome. I may also host a Zoom as well for like a Zoom kickoff for those of us who aren't local to Morgan Hill. Um, so yeah, it should be, yeah, Che. So it should be super fun. I'm very excited, very nervous because this is our first MCAL. And I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but I think it's going to be great. We've had some really great, fabulous testers. Everyone's patterns come out super unique and super different. I am going to knit it along with you as when we do the MCAL, so that should be great too. I've already got my yarn picked out. Yeah, it should be awesome.
I think you mentioned this last week, but for folks that hadn't watched that one, she also has a Ravelry group.
Yes. Yes, I do.
This is you.
There are 7 people in the Ravelry group so far. One of them is us as Slip Sis, and one of them as me as my old original Ravelry. I think one of them might be our dad.
That's it. Family affair.
Hmm.
All right. And the DK mixed medley sock, I think, is cooking right now. We're still working with Mandy of Mad Cow Mandy to create like I'm going to say addendum, but that doesn't feel like the right word, like a supplemental item that will help you kind of like organize your thoughts as you're going through the pattern. She sent us the initial one and it's super cute. So we're just cooking on that. So maybe a little bit after May 1, but meh. It's okay. We love a good extension on a pattern drop. But hopefully should still be in time for summer sock camp, all the summer sock knitting, those things if you're participating in that sock along hosted by the crazy sock lady. But that one's cooking. So nothing major to share on that now, but we have a shorter episode also for you this time because we did do an Instagram poll. And by we, I mean, I had the idea and Gabs had to do it. To see if y'all liked a longer episode with more stuff or a shorter episode that you get sooner with less stuff. So we have less stuff today, though I'm sure we'll still yap on for a million years. So it was me who had the 2 FOs, right?
I have 1 FO.
Okay, I have 2 FOs. So then we'll sandwich and then we'll flop the sandwich for the whips. Okay. Oh, Gabs is also eating her breakfast. So we're good. This is it. This is the authenticity. I hope you're also eating some kind of delicious meal. Gabs is a burrito. I have my Spam breakfast bowl. But these are my socks that I finished this week. You saw these on the last episode. I'm in this apparently like hot pink and purple phase of life right now. So this is a combination of two different yarns. I held them double. I also did socks individually with each of the yarns, and I still have extra to give to my sister for her hexie blanket. So I have that actually already packed in my suitcase to bring up this week. So these are the Vanilla DK socks by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, and the two yarns are Garden Party by Comfort and Joy Saw Yarn Co. and Stone Fox by Les. Okay, so on Instagram she's Traveling Yarn,
I know that confuses me too.
which
I have no idea.
I
The
don't know if
label says less traveled though.
correct. So if you want to know, I picked up that yarn at Tempe Yarn in Arizona when I was traveling there. But these are super fun because I already have basically this sock two times over. I'm going to put these in my donation bin when it's time to donate items. Gaps?
Okay, I have finished my Tecumseh sweater for my colleague. It is all done and it looks great. I am, of course, knitting a worsted weight sweater in the summertime, but whatever. But it came out super cute. I love it. She's
I
gonna love
like
it.
it.
Right. Um, Came out great. This is the Tecumseh sweater by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks. And I knit it using Red Heart Super Saver for the main color, which is tweed, and then orange. The orange is pumpkin, which is Karen Simply Soft, and the gray charcoal is Valeria de Roma, which didn't have a colorway name; it just had like a numbers. So I knit this in a size 1 because the gauge is wildly different than what it says in the pattern because I do not gauge swatch. And I don't know, this is probably the hill I'm gonna die on. That okay, you're gonna come for me. You don't have to gauge swatch to make a sweater. Like I know all of the like knitting guru people are like, you have to knit a gauge swatch if you want it to fit you. No, you don't.
And
No,
to block and do all the whole thing.
you don't have to do that. None of that. You have to have a general idea of garment construction and a general idea of your own gauge and your own measurements. But I rarely gauge swatch, and when my stuff doesn't fit me, it's because my body has changed, not because of the garment. Or I knit it too short because I got tired. But that's laziness. That's not, but like the width has always been fine. So that's probably gonna be the title thing. You're wrong. You don't have to gauge swatch. You can come for me if you want. I'm a high school teacher. I can take it. I'm still not gonna gauge swatch. It really doesn't matter what you say to
It's
me.
also like it's your sweater.
Yeah.
So if you want to gauge swatch, like do the whole thing, wet block it. I also don't like to do it. I have started my first sweater, not gauge swatching.
Don't.
I'm also not as adept as Gabs with like the garment construction where she's very intelligent and can like adjust it. I just do this thing called I'll just adjust how I wear it to make it look cute. So I like to take the Tim Gunn approach and just make it work. So whatever I've made, I'm gonna make it work once it's done. Less so worry about it. Because do you remember that time I was making like my second sweater and it took me like an hour and a half to gauge swatch and I just like cried because
Mhm,
I like and then dad had to buy me new needles because like I was so upset with the
mhm, mhm,
needles that that's how I got my Chow Goop
mhm.
interchangeables because I was like weeping because I hate magic loop and I kept having to gauge swatch. I'm not doing that again.
No. And okay, here's the other thing. When you're supposed to submit to design submissions, right? And we've been accepted to some fairly well-known design submissions. I don't always gauge swatch for that either. I just knit a pair of socks with that texture in it and take a picture of it flat so it looks like a gauge swatch because I don't like gauge swatches bring me no joy. None whatsoever because for some reason, they don't like knitting it small doesn't translate to knitting it large. So it doesn't work anyway. So I'm like, why did I waste all this crafting time on something that isn't going to work out anyway? And now I'm mad and it's not going to work. Plus, my tension changes based on how I'm doing that day. Like if I'm knitting in the morning versus the evening, or like what workout I did or what's been going on in my life, the tension's different anyway. So unless you're like, as my kids say, lock in, unless you're locked in, but if you enjoy gauge swatching, absolutely do it. But if it's not bringing you joy, don't let people guilt you into gauge swatching.
Don't do it, girl. Don't do it.
Nah.
Yeah.
So I didn't gauge swatch. I knit the size one. Do I know the dimensions of the person I'm knitting for? No, I do not. So, I mean, I have her general idea. Like, I stood next to her. I know what she like. I work with her. So, she's very petite. She's a marathon runner. So, she's a very petite person. Anyway, she's our cross country coach.
Mm.
So, I'm like, I'm gonna knit this. I know roughly how tall she is. And the best thing was is I was talking to her on Friday, and I was showing her pictures of my daughters because she always yells at me. She says, "Show me the babies." So I showed her the babies. And then she's like, "Ah," one of my daughters, Lenny, was wearing a knitted sweater, and she's like, "Ah, don't show me that picture. I'm so jealous that they have a knitted sweater from you and I don't." And I'm like,
Ooh, you don't know.
so it's done. I wove in the ends. It's acrylic, so I'm not blocking it. And I'm gonna go to her room on my prep on Monday. And I'm very excited to give it to her because she's one of those people who has very like she's she's almost bombastic. Like her reactions are like,
Mm.
like
You- Do you have any leftover yarn?
I do.
I think you should prank her and give her the yarn. Be like, I bought you the yarn so you can make your own sweater. And then give her the sweater.
She would swear in class. She's that kind of person.
I think it would be really funny. I think you should prank her.
So I'm very excited about giving it to her. She's a very knit-worthy person. So that should be awesome. And that's my only finished object, which is probably why my stats are really skewed because I knit a whole colorwork sweater in 2 weeks.
I had another thought for you, but now it's gone from my mind, so it clearly wasn't that critical. Here we are. Me.
Hmm.
Okay, I finished another pair of socks because I'm
Are they
in,
pink?
yeah. But make it pink. So these are a pair of DK socks because I know Gabs is working diligently on the Battenberg blankie. And so I think she needed one last color. And since I was coming up, I wanted to have some DK yarn to give her. So I knit up these DK socks. This is Legacy of Fiber Arts in the Audrey 2 colorway, which I think is perfect for Gabs. So I think it was her third show she stage managed when she was in high school. Grease, West Side Story, and
Third.
then Little Shop.
Yeah, Grease, West Side Story, Little Shop, and it was the second show. Oh my God, I did Little Shop as my second show I ever directed. What was I thinking?
Yes, so Little Shop of Horrors is a musical. If you're not familiar, that is clearly very special.
I
To
love
my
Little Shop. I'm gonna
sister.
put that thing on again.
Yep. So this is Audrey 2, Don't Feed the Plants. I'm adding the Don't Feed the Plants part. As the colorway. And so this will be the color I bring for my sister so she can finish off her colored squares for her Battenbergie. Regular DK stuff. Sorry. It's still vanilla DK pattern by K.
With your afterthought heel. The afterthought heel
Yes,
is not part of the pattern.
that's correct. Both of them have an afterthought heel. It's my new favorite thing for doing any kind of my socks, I think.
Man, now that song is stuck in my head, Shay.
Any one of them from Little
No.
Shop.
Don't feed the plants.
Oh,
Because of course I know all the songs because I've done the show twice.
right.
I love it so much.
I'm just saying, do I know you or do I know you that I was like, no, actually, that was your third show you did as a stage manager in high school when I was 11.
No, if it was my third show, it was senior year. You were 12.
Oh, that's because I had to see the show like 16 times.
That's just a good show, dude.
Okay. Well, the West Side Story was worse for me though, because that one was longer.
Yeah.
boring.
Oh my God, my students want to do West Side Story. So I think I'm gonna have to do what, but there's a high school edition now, and I'm gonna
So it's
do that.
shorter.
Yeah, my kids are begging to do West Side Story.
I can't with the ballads. Just
I might see
too
what I'm
much.
allowed to cut because I want to have more Latinx representation, and I've been looking diligently for shows, and we just did In the Heights like 8 years ago, so we can't
Mm,
do In the Heights, and then West, and there aren't that many that are appropriate for high school or that have large casts,
right.
which is West Side Story and In the Heights both have large casts.
Mm.
Others are like Kiss of the Spider Woman, but that's not
Oh,
a high school show.
no.
Yeah. All right. Whips. How many you got? I got two. Okay, so it's me. I am working on my Battenberg. That is Chaley's Battenberg, maybe, or Eleanor's. She wants it so much. She's like, for me, I keep it. So Chaley might have to like cage match it, but it's coming out really cute. It's big too. I'm there you go. So I am joining it the way it says in the pattern, but like the order differently. So it's a free pattern by I believe Sandra Paul, and basically you're single crocheting them together on the back, which is a very nice way of joining things, but I'm doing it on the diagonal. I think she's got hers going out differently, but I don't want to do that. So I'm doing it on the diagonal because I figure once I've gotten to the widest part of the diagonal, the hypotenuse of the triangle, then everything will be smaller and then everything will feel like it's going faster. Um, all of the yarn is DK weight yarn. About 90% of it is my sister's. And then the cream is wool stock worsted from Blue Sky Fibers in their Highland fleece. I want to say colorway, but it's cream, so it may just be bare. I had to purchase more of it because I ran out. So I purchased 3 more skeins of it. I had 6 skeins of it and I purchased 3 more, but the 6 that I had were 50 grams and the 3 that I purchased were 150 grams. So really it was, I had the option of purchasing obviously 9 50 grams or 3 150 gram. But in my mind, I was like, but if I only purchase the 3, then that's only 3 skeins of yarn going into stash and 6 going out, even though the numbers, like the actual weight was more because my stash got out of hand this month, straight out of hand. So yeah, I'm working on the Battenberg. It's in my Erin Lane's Snap and Stash. It's poofy. I think this is the Naughty Sheeple colorway. It's gotten dirty because I clip it to my purse. This is the snap thing. It's very helpful to clip to my purse. And then now I have to hype my own business. Today I'm putting together our Etsy shop for our yarn cozy. These are Adam's Family because I also love Adam's Family desperately. I was my first show I ever directed, or first musical I have ever directed was the Adam's Family. Um, and these are our 100-gram skein cozies, and one of these will be available in the shop when I open it. And I will link it to the link. I will have to probably edit the description of this and link it when it's ready so you can check that out. I think they are going to be $8, I think is where I landed for that. Um, with my very scientific Excel spreadsheet on cost, etc. So I'm super excited. The Battenberg hopefully will be done before the summer. I'm hoping it's a year-long project because I started it in like July. So I'm hoping to finish it before July.
You thought it was gonna take you like 5 years, so this is
It's
doing
actually
good.
much faster because it's the thing that I carry around with me to make the little squares.
Mhm.
So I just carry it about. Oh, but the new yarn that I got, this one from Fillory, my daughter broke my yarn winder trying to help me do it. She snapped the plastic gear because it got tangled. So that happened. But Daniel's
Strong
helping me
grip.
fix it. I don't know what happened, but it just like went snap. But I'm like, is it that sturdy if my 4-year-old can break it using it in the way it's intended? Like she wasn't like throwing it. She was cranking it. So I'm like, well, if a 4-year-old can break it using it in its intended way, but it was also only like 20 bucks. So, you know.
Yeah, I think the replacement one I had when we bought them at the same time, I think it was $12.
Yeah. So
So it's not one of our fancy ones because we have like three of this same one.
I know okay. I know people in the comments are gonna tell me about the fancy ones and like getting a Stanwood or what have you. I hear you. They're too big. Like I don't have that much space, right? Like the reason I have the Knit Picks ones is because they're compact. So if there's a better one that is smaller and compact, because the one that like looks like a slingshot, I think Kay, the crazy sock lady, has, that's never gonna happen because that's like 12 feet.
I have the space and I still use the little one.
Now I want it to be compact.
Yeah. Also, but like, I think it's fine because if you're gonna let your kids do it and they break the expensive one, then you'll be a lot more mad.
I wasn't even mad at all this time. Poor Lottie was real devastated yesterday because I got sick. I got food poisoning, and but she had like kneed me in the stomach, so she thought her kneeing me in the stomach was the cause of me being sick in bed all day. And then when I finally was feeling better, she wanted to hang out with me 'cause she had seen me all day. Um, she breaks my yarn winder, and
She was like,
she's just sitting on the chair. She's like, "I'm really sorry about today, Mama. I don't know what happened. Like, it's not your fault. Like, it just happened." She's like, I'm sorry. I tried to be good." And I'm like, I know.
it happens.
Yeah, it was a day.
Okay, me.
Uh-huh.
So I have started my first garment of 2024. This
Ooh, I
is,
have the yarn cozy
I
for
know, will
that.
you let me finish talking for God's sake, Gabrielle?
No.
I do have this in my panda bag that our dad made for us, and you can also find a cozy version of this in Gabrielle's Etsy shop. God. So I am making the Weekender Light by Andrea Mowry. I don't have the pattern here because it's on my chair in the other room. But it's constructed bottom up. So I'm working on the hems right now. So brace yourself because I am knitting it in Honolulu, which is a yarn from Destination Yarn.
Wait, yours looks completely different than mine.
I don't know.
You keep talking. I'll get mine.
Okay, so this is the front hem that I'm working on. I already finished the back hem last night while we were watching the Erin Lane bags sale. So this is how that came out. Well, yours just seems to have a lot more blue in it. She's muted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mine's held double though.
Mine's not.
I'm gonna unhold it double. This is a finished object that's too big for me.
Excellent. Okay, back to me. So I've finished this one. I'm almost done with this one. And then you add them together, obviously, to then start knitting up. And I was reflecting upon this while I was watching the sale and knitting on this. I usually despise having to knit flat. It's like it feels like it takes forever, but I felt very relaxed doing this. And so like once you get up, right, you have to knit like the front part flat and then the back part flat. I actually don't think I'm gonna mind it that much because I think I sat on doing a garment for so long that I'm like excited about it. And I've like, okay, now feels like the right time for me to work on it. So I don't feel like I'm, like dreading the sections that aren't as fun for me. And then I am going to knit it helically because it is a pretty intense variegate. Here I have some that are still in their skein form. So this is what it looks like in a skein, and then I have it in the cozies that my sister's mother-in-law, like the OGs, made. So this is what it looks like. So I think it'll flash pretty aggressively. So I'm gonna try and knit it helically once I get everything picked up and such. But I think it's gonna be kind of hilarious. But it's also like a more simple looking sweater. So I think it's fine that the thing is the colorway is super loud because the sweater itself isn't super loud. And that's it. I'm making the size 2 and I did not do a gauge swatch. I'm just gonna make it work.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. This is all I've been working because I finished these socks yesterday. And so this is all I started.
Okay, so I am doing the Imagine Landscapes Gnome Knit Along. It's called Gnome News is Good News. So if you're doing that and you don't want to be spoiled, this is your time to skip ahead. However, the clue's been out for a hot second. So, um, here's where I am. I was completely wrong, and you'll see it in my vlog because I am doing a vlog on what the parts of this gnome were. I just keep looking at it. I'm like, huh? What's this? Huh? Which is also like the best part of knit alongs, mystery knit alongs when I don't know what's coming. So this, I know. I thought this stripy bit was first I thought it was a cape, then I thought it was a hat, then I thought it was no, still a hat. It's apparently the body. What the heck? So it's the body and then this pinky bit is the hat and it's gonna like you can kind of see it. Like I'm not holding it crooked, but it's starting to go crooked, so it's gonna like whoop this way. And I had to do this welt, which was actually super easy. And then I have a little tiny, I have the parts. I have, oopsies, I have hands. I'm pretty sure these are hands. I think it's like, I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then I'm pretty sure this is the nose. So it'll go like that, which is super cute. So the colors are the inclusive pride flag, which is this part from Always Be Kind yarn. And then the hot pink is the plucky knitter called like Take My Breath Away, I think. Chaley gave them to me. They're also for my Rainbow Connection socks, which I'm going to start immediately after I finish these. I'm really liking this knit along. The pacing is a little bit odd, I would say. Um, like day one, all I did was knit those. Clue one was like those teeny tiny thingy, like the little arms. Then day 2 was like or clue 2 was the whole stripy thing. So like one took like maybe 20 minutes and the next one took like 3 hours. Then the next day you had to graft or the next clue. All you had to do was like graft and make the nose, but they gave you 3 days to graft and make the nose. And I'm like, what's going on? Like it's like long and then short and then long and then short. And then now you got 3 days to make the hat, which is like 90 rows. So it's really strange pacing. I'm able to keep up with it, which maybe that's why the pacing is like long day, short day, long day, short day. But I feel like it could be more condensed, but maybe that's why there's space in between so that if like you miss a day, you're cool. Because like yesterday, I was not doing good. I food poisoned to myself and I was big, or I caught some kind of horrible 24-hour stomach bug. Either way, I was not doing good. But I really like it. You can still enter the knit along. Like you can still enter for prizes up until like June 29th. So even if you weren't able to do it when the clues dropped, you can do it now. I think she does at least 2, I'm pretty sure maybe 3 gnome knit alongs a year. I'm having an obsession with gnomes because I'm realizing I can make gnomes and then give them as gifts, but they can be like gift stock. Does that make sense? Like you can make them and then I can just grab them and give them to someone because it doesn't matter like sizes and junk like that for handmade gifts because it's gotten around to my school that I make some people the gifts and I don't make other people the gifts. And now it's like, well, how come you made so and so this, but you bought me? And I'm like, okay.
Can't have that much time.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, because like I made my friend Alyssa a pair of socks, right? And then it got around that I made Alyssa socks. I was like, yeah, but Alyssa's a crafter too, and she's an art teacher, so she'll like appreciate the work that goes into these things.
Right.
Versus the custodians, I think are much happier with peanut brittle.
Yes.
Yeah. But now I'm gonna start making gnomes so I can give them to like our support staff.
Mhm.
So for like their desks and stuff like that. So I thought that would be
Black and orange shows school spirit.
nice. Now I'm just gonna make whatever I want. I think I'm gonna crochet them too, because crocheting feels sturdier for amigurumis.
Yeah.
This one is knit, but I think crochet. I also think crochet is faster. All right, what else we got to talk about?
We just have to do our stats.
Oh no, I have acquisitions. I have
Oh, it's over to
acquisitions.
you.
Okay, so it
I'm
was my
gonna work
birthday.
on my hem then while you get all your acquisitions. Settle in, folks. We thought it was gonna be a short one. We were wrong.
Okay, so it was my birthday Wednesday.
Woohoo!
I turned 33. Um,
Woohoo!
and I have gotten 33 skeins of yarn this month, unintentionally. Mostly de-stashed for good. I mean, I knew I was going to get yarn for my birthday, but here, let me fetch what I got.
She's fetching. I'm just gonna work on this because we could be here for 70 years.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I've got. I got these Red Heart all-in-one granny squares from my sister. I think I'm actually going to make a granny square backpack out of them. Um, yes, I think. We'll see.
Well, they didn't have two of any of the ones I liked, which is why you got two different ones, but I felt like they went together.
Yes, they also might turn into a granny square sweater or a cardigan. We'll see. Um, we'll see how it goes. Then I got 7 skeins of this hot pink crushed velvet because I'm going to make myself a hot pink juicy couture waffle robe. There is no pattern. I'm going to freehand it because I don't want to do a knit robe because I was inspired by one of a Kate's robe, except I think she knitted it in garter stitch, and
Oh,
garter grows. And as robes are very heavy, it's going to stretch out. But crochet is a little bit more because it's knots, right? Crochet is essentially knots. It holds its shape a little bit better. And instead of knitting this way or crocheting this way on my body, so the stitches will go like this, I'm going to crochet up and down so the pull isn't on the loose end. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I'll write a pattern or something because robes are decently, you can probably get away with like 3 sizes of robe, right? Like it's not like a garment where you really want sizes. You can probably do the small, medium, large, extra large, and then what is it? 2XL, 3XL, and kind of like call those your sizes. So I got that. I'm working on those. Mom and dad got me that. And then I got, you haven't seen this trick. Look at this yarn I got from Anthony.
cannot see.
I don't want to pull it out because it's packed super close in. So you have to live with the mystery till I cast it on. It's called Chesapeake Bay from Destination Yarn, and it is first class silk. It's got these really pretty greens and browns. I think it's going to be bound for a blanket. So that's how I ended up with 13 skeins of yarn for my birthday on top of the like 20 I got from D-Stash for Good. No, I'm over 33. Plus, I had to buy myself 3 skeins of yarn. Well, yeah, it's big bad. This month is not, no. So May, I'm going to have to like yarn freeze it to try and get
Mm,
back down. Because remember how at the end of March, I was like, I'm going to be under 300 at the end of April.
I don't know why you thought that.
I also thought I could knit the colorwork sweater in 4 days. Obviously took me 14.
Okay.
And I have to work next week in the nighttime instead of have knitting time. And then I have to go to a wedding next weekend. So that's 4 nights of knitting, crocheting I don't get to do because I have to work and go to a wedding.
I'm so sorry. It must be so hard for you.
I don't know how you do this when you travel. This is how you fall behind when you're traveling.
Duh, because I'm coming to you, Gabs.
I know, dude.
I
Okay.
also have to work next week.
Abysmal. Okay,
Okay,
sure.
so then what are your stats?
Okay, let me get my majiggy. Um, so oh my god, and I got 6 Barocco yarns. What the heck, Gabrielle? Okay, 14, 18, 20, 40. I got 43 skeins. I got 43 skeins of yarn in April. Not 33. I lied. Um, so I had 356 at the end of March, and I gained the 43. So that was 399 skeins total, but I did knit some. So I used 10. So I'm at 389. So the goal was to stay under 400 and I eked it by. Oh, and what did I make? What did I make? Um, I knit a pair of socks and I finished the dinosaur blanket and then the Tecumseh.
Oh man, you would have been in trouble if you hadn't had your spring break at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's honestly this Battenberg is taking like this Battenberg's a lot, right? Like it's a lot of yarn. It's a lot of crafting time.
Yeah, I guess. Um, I am much more tame. As a friendly reminder, we are doing our stash that's very different. So I'm only counting like full intact skeins in and out of my stash. So I gained two, I acquired two skeins this month, my Yarnable and then my afternoon tea party. And I got rid of 6 because Gabs and I are participating in the swap that is hosted by Pearls and Polish. And I decided, for no other reason other than generosity, of course, to give my swap partner 2 full skeins.
Nice.
So I gave away 2 skeins for my swap partner, and then I used 4 skeins. And I have so far finished 5 objects in April, and they are all socks. So I'm at -4 for April thus far. I probably won't have more than that because we're almost at May and I've started a sweater.
Yes. Maybe my goal should be by the end of 2024 that I'm under 300.
Well, we don't really have anything happening in May, theoretically, where you would gain stuff. I might gain stuff next week because I'm going shopping with Michaela.
Oh,
We're
I thought
doing
she canceled.
No, we're back on because her music festival that she was going to go to got moved to August.
Oh, okay. Um, I have this goal for our May miles is to use more skeins than miles that I run.
Use more skeins than miles that you run. So you're going to at least run 31 miles. So you're going to have to use a lot of skeins
Yeah, I know. That's the goal.
and hopefully not run that much because if you do any of the long runs, then you're in trouble.
I know. Well, at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll knit the distance that I run. And then I realized how many yards were in a mile. And I was like, JK, that's never happening.
Yeah, that ain't it.
No. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to finish this Gnome knit along by the end of April. And then I'm starting the Rainbow Connection socks.
Yeah, I really need to start mine too. I don't know why I'm dragging my heels on that one.
I know we've had it for a long time, but we both keep seeming to dawdle on it.
I
But
just don't know if I actually, well, I bought the pattern for you because you liked it.
I do like it.
I don't know if I like it, which is I might make shorties because and give them to Bubby.
I keep looking at the pattern and then like being like, I can't. It's too much.
Yeah.
but
Maybe
I'm gonna
we
start
should
it.
ditch our sock swaps for next year and only do the blankies.
I think that's probably a solid idea
Because
because
I
we
feel
drag our
like,
feet.
huh?
We drag our feet on them.
Yeah, every time. But I also think we drag our feet on our own sock patterns too. So I'm like, maybe for me, at least for me, like sock textures are just not it
In publishing our sock patterns or making our sock patterns?
in making them for each other when we're supposed to. Looking at you.
I finished mine.
Okay, I finished mine too.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah. No, I don't know. I
Yeah.
think I'm adrift on what my goals are. Like, that was the problem with the start of January for me. I'm like, is my goal to finish my whips or is my goal to stash down? Because if I'm
Ah,
going to finish my whips, that's not going to work with stashing down because they're all big skein projects versus am I trying to stash down because then I should basically do a bunch of scrappy projects.
right.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think my overall goal is to get my stash contained in this 9 by 9 in this 3 by 3 unit because currently it's not even a little bit.
I think I just want to get to the point where dad doesn't look at me and says, you're never going to use any of this yarn before you die. So to get to a point where it looks like I could theoretically use everything before I die.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how Nitty Natty actually like I watched her videos. I honestly think she must have given a bunch away. Maybe I should go watch it again.
Well, she did it over like years. Like
Yeah.
the stash she started with when she did the year to zero was not a significant stash. And don't forget, she also didn't include any of her minis.
Oh, right.
She did what I did and only did kind of like the full intact gains.
That's true.
So she also did a lot of garment knitting that used like multiple things.
That's true. That's also true. All true things, Shay.
Yeah, but I actually have kind of like hit a wall on my blankie. So I think I'm gonna have to do like time increments on my blankie.
Oh, like the 30 minutes of knitting situation.
Well, I think what I might do is like finish one color and then do like 30 minutes on another project and then go finish another color and then do 30 minutes on another project. Because I think what I don't like as much about it is kind of what you had to do in the Battenberg, where after I make the first square of that color, I'm like, I'm done. But then I have to make the other two.
Yeah, what I found helps me on some projects that I'm like trying to get finished is when I'm filming a YouTube video for it. Cause
Oh
then I'm
yeah.
like, I want to get this video out. Like I have, you know, like I have an artificial deadline
Mm-hmm.
and like my Battenberg where I'm like, it would be great if I could get it done by the summer, right?
Oh yeah. Well then, especially well, you could give yourself June 18th.
Yeah, but it's not June 18th because I'm not going to see you then. So I either have to do it before.
Yeah, but only like 2 days before, because mom and dad are coming that weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot they were coming.
Do not give it to me during the retreat. I'm not gonna bring that home. I gotta fly too.
No, I know that was the problem is like I can't give it to her during the retreat and I can't give it to her in Hawaii, but I forgot
Oh
mom
my
and
God, I
dad.
would be so annoyed if you gave me a blanket on Kauai.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Well, speaking of what's coming up, do you have any videos coming up soon? I don't.
My Tecumseh, which is now done, and I meant to film the wrap up today while I was on my run, but I didn't run because I got sick yesterday. So probably Monday or Tuesday. And then what else? And my gnome knit along, you can watch me have all these thoughts because I'm like, I know what this is. I don't know what this is. I'm wrong. I'm confused. Let me look at it's a very stream of conscious style vlog, unintentionally, but that's how it is. So I've got those two coming up, and then I've got a couple ideas for vlogs as well that we'll see if they pan out.
I kind of like died on stash down bingo because I have not I'm stuck on the worsted and the bulky.
Do you want me to just give you some?
No, it's okay. I have worsted. I just haven't wanted to make anything with it because I feel like the only thing I would make with it is like a hat, and I just didn't want to make a hat.
Yeah, I feel like May, there aren't that many knit-alongs. And maybe we're just not getting them in our algorithm, but it feels like there's less knit-alongs.
Isn't Nitty Nutty doing the cozy thing again?
Yeah.
I should make more drink cozies. Those were ended up being really good gifts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could do that. And then she's doing that Kindle e-reader cozy thing, but like
Oh, right.
it's cute, but it's not for me.
Okay. Well, I think you've gone all now another hour-long episode. So, because we rambled as we do. Um,
Hmm.
finished our breakfast. So it's like you're having breakfast with us, knitting along with us here. Um, I don't know, probably 2 weekends. So maybe, oh, but that's Mother's Day. We'll figure it out. We'll see you sometime soon. Thanks so much for watching with
In
us.
May,
Sorry?
follow us on Instagram to watch us do May miles, where we run at least a mile a day in May.
Yes, both of us.
Yeah, not combined, not each half a mile.
That would be so funny, but that would be so much easier.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can see our mileage from last year. It is saved in our highlights on our Instagram. Hopefully we run more than we did. I'll have to check because I feel like I was really in a running place last year. I went for running for the first time yesterday, in a while because my allergies get really messy. In this like March, April time. So I haven't really been able to run outside. And I was so tired. I had to take an hour and a half long nap at 9:30.
nice.
So we're doing super good. Yeah, but follow along with us on that journey. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.